Good morning, guys. This is Cynthia, and I'm pretty much at a state with the application where I only have to kind of check for any minor bugs, add some UI touches here and there. And then what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be hosting this web-based application from my website. So that way, if any other employers or those that are interested in my service just want to get an idea of how I would build something like a chatbot, if you will, they'll be able to kind of get a sense of how I build it. So, as usual, we're going to be running local models and we are going to be going through them. I'm going to be talking about the application a little bit and just, let you guys know what I've been up to and what are the future plans are for this application. So, we currently have it running on Chrome. First thing I made sure is that when a different user from a different device is accessing this web-based UI, their information, their settings, mainly their settings, what chats they had, etc., are saved in the local storage of the web browser. So Venice has this system, but it's kind of taken to the next level because they're hosting all of these different AI models and art generation models and video models. So theirs is taken to almost cloud-based level. Mine is a lot more tiny and is for demonstration purposes only. So to start off, this instance is running separately from this one. There's no clear chat or none of that. This is a completely different instance from this one I have running. This is from when I didn't have a model loaded in LM Studio. It can still connect to it. And then with this version, and just to show you that it's not going to globally affect the instance or whatever, I'm going to change the color hue from here in the tablet. Save. And then we're just going to come back to it. We're just going to reload it. The instance stays persistent. So that's one of the things I really wanted to make sure of before going further in the application. So what is this? It's basically a chat interface. But you don't just chat with a model, you're allowed to upload documentation. Any local models I have running on my machine, they can summarize the documentation for you. They can actually see the images as well if the correct model is selected for that particular situation. And I just kind of want to demonstrate how I can very quickly put something together like this for a client. So we're going to stay on the desktop, but like I said, I just wanted to demonstrate that this is a completely separate instance. It's not going to change. It's not, no. These are closed off. And the only way to, say, get these settings onto this version, or this browser per se, is to basically implement, and it was something that Venice has done as well. They basically allow you to download all your information, what is basically your chats, all the chats that you've had with whatever models, all your settings, etc. Well, I pretty much took a sliver of that and decided to incorporate that into the application. In case the user, like let's just say this was an actual service, in case the user wants to use a different browser or maybe use it on their phone, but they don't want to lose their data. All right, so let's minimize this. I'm going to maximize this. And so, what is it? Like I said, it's a chat interface. I wanted to go with a style that was at least leaning towards modern, but I also wanted to be an interface that wasn't cluttered. So let's go over settings. And you have a really general list of settings. User settings, you're allowed to change your name. So let's put Cynthia because that's my name. We're going to leave this here and I'm going to go, I am a AI coder. Right, we're going to put that there. Save all settings. And one of the few things I'm going to tweak is this. I kind of want to refine this a little bit better. It's sort of cheeky. But yeah, UI scale. It just basically does this. Resize the UI. Resize the UI. We're going to go back to the default. Opacity scale. That's what it does. And it also affects this as well. We'll just leave it like that. Who color? You guys already seen it. you're allowed to set a background image. I already did for mine. So we're just gonna pick a different one. And it's kind of hard to see sometimes. I'll definitely implement a option where you can actually adjust the actual hue of the color, like the opacity of it. So that way, if any of you guys need to actually want to see the image clearer, you have that option. Alrighty, so let's go to model configuration. So I have it coded to where it automatically accesses not only the local host link from LM Studio, but also the kasumi.tailc blah 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 from Tailscale. And the reason being is because I pretty much have my PC on the network, but tunneled through Tailscale. So unless I have an extra device that's actually logged into the same Tailscale account, even if the website is live and is funneled, but it's funneled through Tailscale, no other device can access it. So for demonstrations, I will be once again funneling it from Tailscale, but then once I'm actually ready to have it live, I'm gonna funnel it through Cloudflare, so that way people can actually access my local models. Kind of put restrictions as well, because I can imagine some assholes out there just repeatedly spanning the model and try to blow up my PC. We don't want that. Put some restrictions, but have it to where, let's just say a client or an employer can actually sit there, if they're allowed to, test out the application and just kind of play around with it, and just to kind of get a sense of how my development skills are with AI. So, contest capacity. Very freaking simple. How many tokens can it process? This still needs quite a bit of tweaking, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And then custom instructions, this is something I have to actually go back and heavily test. I won't be doing that here, so no guarantee that this actually works. But once I have this application live, I'll already have done all sorts of testing to make sure that the custom instructions are actually applied in the back end of the application, so that way the model actually follows them. And also to make sure that it's isolated between instances, so if it happens here, it's not going to happen on another device or something. So, memory bank. I wanted to keep this as streamlined as possible. This is something I may take out or still leave it there, but with restrictions, like maybe you can only upload 5 to 10 documents. And also keep in mind of the token amount, because this could severely lag the web-based application. So that's just something I'm keeping in mind. But global memory, it just means that across all chats, the AI model will actually remember bits and pieces from all across the different chats. So, save settings, and really early, just a lot of testing to do. Alrighty, and it looks like my recording went delulu. Gonna have to give me a sec here. So that way, I can adjust the display. So basically I forgot that I had my display set to, I think it was like 3 to 5 minutes or something, and then it just auto shuts off the display. And I'm just like, no, I'm in the middle of demonstrating one of my applications. How dare you? How dare you indeed? Alrighty, we're gonna be back in 3, 2, 1, and it is back. Alright, hello tablet. Alright, so I pretty much took cues from a lot of the other AI companies about how they set up like the first chat interface. And like I said, quite a bit of a refinement will be done along with the icons and such. But I kind of want to make sure that the user feels like they're at home again. Like, let's just say they're using Grok, right? And they're just like, I love Grok, but I don't want to pay monthly for whatever. Every user is different. And so let's just say, man, I just want to chat, or not even just chat, but I want to do some research on this. I just want AI to review my documents. I just want AI to write emails for me, things like that. Well, they can come to this web interface and simply do that without a monthly fee. That can change, but they can do that for free. And so I'm like, okay, what can I do? How can I decide to make the user feel at home? And so I implement this. There might be more, there might be less in the next update. So let's just go with this, and let me check and see which model I have loaded. Oh no, because that thing, NVIDIA, which by the way was the training data actually came from Quinn, which I thought was pretty interesting. So when you ask it what model it is, it literally tells you it's Quinn. And it's like, wait a minute, you're having an identity crisis. But no, let's go ahead and switch to Tiny, my MVP. Let's make sure it's loaded. And they are. All right, let's move this over here. Let's start a new chat. And then we're going to go, what is local AI? And Tiny is progressing. Wow, that was fast. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to focus on is making sure the UI is fast and efficient, because everybody's going to have different devices. Some people are rocking Google Pixel 4s, or even older models. Some people are rocking Windows 7 still. Some people are rocking Windows 10, but their computer specs are not that great. When I was designing this, I wanted to make sure that the code, which by the way, I think is around, let me see, I'll have to take a peek or something, but last I checked, it was teetering towards 2,000 lines, but I'm gonna go back and clean it up and try to strip it down to 1,500 so that way it continues to run fast. Because that's the key point I'm focusing on, because a lot of people are using a lot of edge devices nowadays. There's quite a number of people that are using high-specs machines or computers for computing, for coding with AI, or for AI agentic orchestration. But then there's a lot of people, especially those on the consumer side, that are using mostly edge devices. So that's mobile phones, tablets. So I want to make sure that if they're using something like this, it's fast. So let's take a look at what Tiny wrote to me. Local First AI is an innovative platform, and I didn't tell it to say this, I promise, on leveraging artificial intelligence technology specifically tailored for local businesses. The primary goal of the creators behind this initiative, which is only me, is to revolutionize how these businesses engage in their customers, streamline operations, and boost overall performance in today's digital age. The Local First AI ecosystem aims to provide a comprehensive suite of tools and resources designed to empower small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, by harnessing the potential of artificial intelligence, by integrating state-of-the-art machine learning algorithms and natural language processing techniques into user-friendly platforms. And I'm going to give you the too long do not read version, do not worry. This initiative seeks to level the playing field for SMEs in terms of competitiveness and accessibility. Moreover, Local First AI strives to foster a vibrant community of like-minded entrepreneurs who can share ideas, best practices, and collaborate on projects that further enhance their respective businesses. The overarching goal is not only to drive innovation, but also to promote sustainable growth within local economies while preserving the unique character and charm of each locality. In essence, Local First AI envisions an ecosystem where artificial intelligence, wow, Tiny, serves as a catalyst for transforming the way small businesses operate in our increasingly interconnected world, ultimately benefiting both consumers and business owners alike. So what the hell are they talking about? So my idea for Local First AI, and that's the official name of my website and project and company, whatever you want to call it, I want to put all of that, most of this in regards to running inferences, and aka running AI on your freaking machine, understanding AI, understanding what you can't and should not do with AI, and etc. And basically have it to where it is actually understandable. I want to educate people on local AI inference because you can do it, provided that you have the correct computer specs. You don't need a freaking farm. You don't need a data farm. You just need to be hyper aware of how your specs, which is mainly GPU and RAM, correlates with what models you can run and what you are trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve oh my god, my AI model, I want to be able to generate a bunch of 4K video every single freaking minute, and I'm sorry, sweetheart, but you're not going to be able to do that. But for edge cases, like summarizing a documentation, and let's just say you want to automate that, similar to how I done it with Artisan AI, write an email, compare notes, test AI, maybe fine-tune a local AI model. In fact, Onslaught released their their application where it makes it super easy to actually fine tune models in the GGUF format. That's gonna be my next step-by-step video. I haven't gotten around to downloading it, but that's basically what Tiny is saying. Okay, so features. Ooh, copy button. And it's like, yeah, Cynthia, it showed in the UI that it copied, but did it actually copied? Yep, it did. Oh, look at that. Magic. And because it's super duper long, it goes long horizontally. So yeah, copy button works, feedback. Oh, if you want to regenerate this, but we're not going to do that right away, you can do that. This is for this. You get to see the entire chat up to the last one. And to show that it works no matter what browser you're on, boom, boom. The only difference is that whatever style you have on this, let's just say this instance, right? It's going to apply it to this chat interface or the preview. So, but other than that, it's still the exact same text. Nothing's been changed, and you can't do anything about it. You can't tweak it. You can't change nothing. So that's another thing I wanted to add. Okay. Oh, look, what's this? You can change the model. And it applies to the same chat, but I'll go ahead and show it here. So let's just say we wanted to use the infamous thinking model. The Quinn / is supposed to be from NVIDIA, but it still thinks it's Quinn, well, model. In fact, sometimes I pick the wrong model. There it is. All right, we're gonna go there, save, we go back to the chat. Oh, would you look at that? That's the previous one. And another, I mean, obviously I have to add a delete button, but oh, look at that. It magically transformed into the other, no, it's not magic. It just changed the model for that instance of the chat. But I'm gonna go back to Tiny. Let's go back to Tiny. IBM Tiny, save. Oh, look, it magically evolved to Tiny. All right, so what is this? This is basically telling you, based on the max amount of tokens the model itself can actually handle, which with Tiny, let me double check here. It's kind of important for those that don't know. It's basically measuring the contents length, right? And how many tokens can it actually support at a time. And this puny thing can do 1,048,576 tokens. That's actually quite impressive. So all of this only took off that. And so when it's on the left hand side, like it's not really progressing, it's mostly green. What is in the middle, it's going to turn yellow. And then when the bar reaches all the way near max, it's going to be like, honey, you need to change models. You need to change your life or something because it is about to implode. But that's basically what it means. But yeah, this, even though it looks like a bookmark, you download the message. Let's just say you want to add it to like a piece of software where you save your prompts or something. You're like, oh my goodness, this prompt was absolutely marvelous. Let me just download it, and you're allowed to do that. Alrighty, rewind button. What does it do? It does this. And sometimes the model's like, oh, look at what the user wrote. But yeah, just tiny little bugs like that. And you can change the name of the chat. Let's just call it T or something. Or let's not call it anything, because that's yet another bug I have to change. But we can do it on here as well. Call it T, and bam. And it's called T. Alright, so let's talk about this. Oh, goodness gracious, Cynthia, what have you done? Nothing really fancy. So, like I said, I wanted to make sure that people or users are allowed to back up their data. And let's just say they wanted to use it on their phone or tablet or something. Well, I basically made sure that there was encryption, if you will, involved in this. So it's not just a test documentation with all of their information and then no, it's encrypted. So you can't even see what their chats were, what their nothing. And I'll be able to demonstrate it. And a lot of you guys are in deep within the test center. You'll automatically recognize what encryption I used. So store description, let's put tiny. And then for password, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's such a complicated password. Generate backup. And then just a few things to refine the UI. Like this and... But anyways, let's download it. And then we'll just leave it at that. Okay? And then when you open it, absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. It's just garbo. So, anyways, you're like, okay, Cindy, you added that. What is the point? Well, the point is, like I said, if you want to back up, you'll be able to actually do that. So now let's go to settings. And now we're going to go to select backup. And then we are going to do, and I think it's this one. Yeah. Select that one. And it's going to ask you for the password. Now I'm going to purposely put in the wrong password. And it's going to be like, nope, that's the wrong password. Let's try it again. Oh no, that's totally the wrong password again, human. So let's do the 1, 2, 3, 4. And it restored everything. So you don't have to worry about, oh great, I'm stuck with freaking Brave on this pretty not so amazing PC. No, you don't have to worry about that. You're allowed to transfer your data. And for those that have a lot of lengthy conversations with AI, whether it's roleplay, brainstorming, etc., this is why I added this feature, and I wanted to make sure it was working. To just demonstrate that I'm able to do something like this for a client. But I think that pretty much summarizes it. And at this point, I already shut off the tablet. There's no need to really do much there. I mean, pretty much I made sure that this application was optimized for mobile. In fact, in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to show a screenshot of it using the Tailscale proxy link loaded on my phone. And it does work. I've tested it I don't know how many times. Played around with it, talked to the models. So all of that works. But that's it. Like I said, just a couple updates here and there, tweaks. And I'll have it hosted on Fursol and have it to where the models themselves could actually be accessed through Cloudflare. So that way if any clients want to actually check it out, they can. Just a reminder, once again, I am using local models, and local models will be used. But yeah, hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you like the application that I have made. Once again, it was coded with Gemini. If you decide to skip the speed last video, it was coded with Gemini using AI Studio. And I primarily use Gemini Flash and Gemini Flashlight with like mostly UI tweaks done. And this was only maybe a handful of them done by Pro. So I never really get to a point where I have to really use my API key or dip into my AI credit tokens or whatever. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.